Underwater drone recorded the Megalodon, but what happened next was shocking. It began on a clear morning. The sea was calm and the sky had no clouds. A group of scientists was on a small ship near the Bermuda Triangle. Their job was to test a deep-sea drone called IC. This drone had strong metal parts, long battery life, and a camera that worked in the dark. It was made to dive deeper than any drone before it. The mission leader, Dr. Henry Moss, was a quiet man. He had studied the ocean for over 30 years. He believed the deep sea still had secrets no one had seen. This mission was important for him. It could prove his ideas were true. At 6 in the morning, the drone was placed in the water. Lights on its body turned on. The team watched a large screen that showed what the drone saw underwater. First, it was just clear blue water. Then the color turned dark as the drone sank lower. The drone passed schools of fish, small sharks, and coral walls. As it went deeper, strange sea creatures began to appear. Some glowed in the dark, some had long bodies and no eyes. These creatures lived in places without sunlight. They moved slowly through the water. At 5,000 meters, the drone passed a shipwreck. It was an old wooden ship with broken sails and rusted cannons. The team recorded everything, but they did not stop. The goal was to reach 10,000 meters. At 8,000 meters, the pressure was extreme. Most machines would break, but IC kept moving. The screen showed dark water and small dots of light from animals that lived there. At 9,500 meters, the drone found something strange. A large cave stood in the seafloor. Its opening was wide and sharp rocks formed the edge. The current around the cave was slow, but it pulled the drone slightly toward the inside. The drone's light pointed ahead, showing only darkness. As it entered the cave, the signal from the drone became weak for a moment. The image blurred, then became clear again. The team saw a dark shape moving in the distance. It was slow and large. At first, it looked like a shadow, but as it got closer, its shape became clear. It was a giant shark, bigger than any shark ever seen. Its body was thick, its mouth was huge. The shape of its fins and teeth matched pictures from books. This was not a normal shark, it was a megalodon. The megalodon had not been seen in modern times. Most scientists believed it had died out 2 million years ago, but here it was, alive, moving slowly in the deep sea cave. The drone kept recording. The megalodon circled the cave. It did not seem scared. It looked calm. The drone followed from a distance. The megalodon moved deeper into the cave. The light showed part of its back and tail. It had long scars across its body. Some were fresh. Something had fought it before. The drone's battery began to run low. The team had to bring it back. As the drone turned around, the megalodon followed it. It did not attack. It just swam behind, watching. When the drone left the cave, the signal became weak again. Then the screen turned black. The connection was lost. The drone was gone, but the recording was saved. The team had proof. A megalodon was still alive, but no one else knew. The ship had no internet. The footage stayed on the ship's hard drive. The scientists spoke in whispers. They were scared. The sea was not safe. Something ancient still lived in the dark. Dr. Moss made a decision. They would not wait. A second mission would start the next day. This time, they would send people. A submersible was prepared. It was small, made for 6 people. It had steel walls, thick glass, and strong lights. Inside, there were cameras, oxygen tanks, and a black box. The box would record everything. Even if the sub did not return, the box could float to the surface. The dive team was chosen. 6 experts. No names were shared. They were calm and quiet. They checked their gear, nodded, and entered the sub. At 6:15 in the morning, the sub dropped into the water. It sank slowly. Fish passed the windows. Light faded. The water turned black. The sublights were turned on. The sub passed the shipwreck. Then it reached the cave, the same one the drone had entered. It looked like a mouth. Rocks like teeth surrounded the opening. The sub entered the cave. The light showed deep scratch marks on the walls. The sonar picked up something big. Then the Megalodon appeared. It moved slowly through the water. Its size was beyond belief. It swam around the sub, then vanished into the dark. The team watched. Cameras recorded. The sonar kept tracking. Then the shark returned. It hit the sub hard. The sub shook. Lights blinked. One window cracked. The shark hit again. Metal bent. Water began to leak. Alarms rang. The team prepared to escape. One diver opened the hatch. They had no choice. They swam into the cave. The shark was waiting. One by one, the divers disappeared. The lead diver placed a camera in a crack in the wall. It pointed toward the cave. Then he turned around, and he was gone. Above, the research ship waited. No signal returned, no voices, no movement, just silence. The next day, the black box floated to the surface. The crew pulled it in. They opened it in the lab. It showed the dive, the cave, the shark, the attacks, and the last diver. Looking back one final time, then nothing. The captain sealed the box in steel. He gave one order: we leave. No one returned, no one spoke. And deep below, the Megalodon swims. 2 weeks later, the captain was questioned. A black car had picked him up from his home. He was taken to a hidden building with no windows. Inside, men in suits asked him what he had seen. They already knew about the Megalodon. They already knew about the cave. They told the captain that the cave was part of a secret creation zone used by a powerful branch of the government. It was a center where ancient creatures had been brought back using old DNA. Some called it the mythical beast program. It had no name, only warnings. The men told him if he spoke of the dive, the shark, or the cave, he would disappear forever. They told him to forget, and he did. But the black box still exists. Somewhere in the dark, the truth waits. And below the ocean floor, the Megalodon is not alone.